Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to not Black Ops 6, but Modern Warfare 3. Holy hell, guys, I cannot begin to tell you how much fun this game is to play right now. All that nonsense that's happening with Black Ops 6 is not happening within this game. We have a working anti-cheat. We have very few, if any, bugs whatsoever. All the progression paths still work. There's a ton to grind for, and most importantly, there is little to no skill-based matchmaking within this game. I'm not gonna lie, it actually feels pretty weird to be enjoying Call of Duty after dealing with the colossal train wreck that has been Black Ops 6 over the course of the past couple of months, and don't you guys worry, there's even more Black Ops 6 news I'm going to be covering here today, but before we do so, I want you to take a look at this. I have played more than 10 matches since coming back to this game, but my last 10 matches of Modern Warfare 3, nearly a 3 KD and a 4-win loss. Like, what in the world? Like, you guys see me running around this map here. I don't even know the name of the map. I don't even know the layout that well. This map came out when I wasn't playing Modern Warfare 3, but it doesn't matter because in a game that does not have skill-based matchmaking, or at the very least does not have thick skill-based matchmaking like we have in Black Ops 6, good players do good, bad players do bad, and all is right within the Call of Duty world. I hope you guys all sit back, relax, and enjoy the Modern Warfare 3 gameplay while we cover today's news, because of course there is more news to cover and more nonsense with Black Ops 6, Warzone, Activision, and just, I don't even know what to say anymore, guys. I'm having such a hard time differentiating the bull from the shit when it comes to this franchise anymore. So we all know that the anti-cheat doesn't work, right? It's been rife with problems ever since the launch of the game. Hackers, especially within ranked play, basically run the show, whether you're talking about multiplayer or Warzone, but even with it being that bad, Activision has decided to cash in once again. So ranked play is completely busted right now, and today they released 12 separate operator packs for each of the Call of Duty League teams. Each of these cost $12, and apparently a small portion of the sales will go towards the teams, but who greenlit this tomfuckery? Like, ranked play is the worst that we have ever seen in this franchise. I don't think that's an exaggeration to say, whether we're talking about Warzone or the normal multiplayer, and Activision is out here trying to cash in on the few remaining players playing the game. I know the pro players have to play because that's like their job or whatever, but all the big names out there, Nadeshot for example, aren't even playing COD anymore. They've moved on to things like Marvel Rivals, and for the people who are sticking around and trying to play ranked play, they're getting falsely banned and suspended. I cannot make this shit up, guys, because ever since the Squid Game event, Black Ops 6, as I'm sure most of you have noticed, has been crashing a lot more than normal. I told you guys when I was testing out the Squid Game event, getting my footage and everything, I crashed twice while trying to play like multiplayer in Warzone, and then I crashed an additional time while trying to play solo zombies, and the guys I was playing with at the time, Sean and Nate, each of their games crashed as well the day that the event went live. It's quite clear that this entire update was just pushed out to try to stop the bleeding when it comes to the player base, but now they are banning people in ranked play if their games crash. Make that make sense, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're playing Warzone ranked play and you crash or get a dev error, it counts as you quitting the match, and in ranked play there's a penalty for leaving. So players are being forced to sit out for 15 minutes, and I believe that penalty gets worse and worse if you happen to keep crashing. That is absolutely mind-blowing. Like, the game is flooded with hackers, which make ranked play virtually unplayable to begin with, but even when the most dedicated players are still trying to fight through all the bullshit, the servers themselves stop working and force those players into timed suspensions. You cannot make that stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. It's like I said earlier, it's clear that this new update, if you can even call it that, was pushed out preemptively in an effort to try to save face while Call of Duty is bleeding all of its players, and nothing about this update seems to actually work, and in a lot of ways, it's actually making the game worse. If you want proof that the update that came out with the Squid Game event is busted, look at Treyarch literally admitting it right here. So in the update, they claimed that the vermin and zombies would stop double hitting players, which is really frustrating, especially once you get to the higher rounds. Well, the thing is, those vermin are still double hitting players, and people are submitting tickets and calling it a bug and this, that, and the other, and Treyarch admits that the real update will be coming out in Season 2. So they put it in the patch notes, even though it wasn't actually in the game, so we can't even trust the patch notes anymore, and hopefully you guys guys are starting to see a parallel with what's going on here, because back when we had X-Defiant, we kept hearing about the future, you know, new stuff is coming, bug fixes are coming, we're working on this, we're working on that, and fans got tired of waiting and they all kind of left the game. Well, it turns out with X-Defiant, it would have been worth the wait, but Ubisoft was too busy devaluing all of their IPs for a future buyout. But the same thing that happened with X-Defiant is currently happening with Call of Duty right now. I cannot think of a time in franchise history where we were always left waiting like we are here with Black Ops 6. The anti-cheat might be kind of fixed in Season 2, it might be kind of fixed in Season 3, the bug fixes, although be coming out in Season 2, you might have to wait till Season 3, like all these things are coming in the future. So they say, and it's absolutely no wonder why so many people are leaving the game right now, but it turns out they might not actually be leaving the game because Activision might be using their profiles in a whole different way. Now, we're going to get into some conspiracy theory territory here, but I promise I'm going somewhere with this. Last year, you guys might remember, we covered the idea of AI bots being added into the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. We got leaks and reports that claim that Activision is currently testing them for Warzone, similar to how Fortnite has bots in their lobbies for newer players or just bad players in general. Well, this kicked up an entire witch hunt within Modern Warfare 3 where players were trying to find people that just weren't behaving right, or maybe they were acting in really weird ways, but it was always really hard to prove if somebody was just a bad player, a new player, or like an AI bot. You know, for all we know, it could be somebody's 4-year-old that grabbed the controller, and here on your screen are going to be some of the examples of these clips where people thought maybe AI was being involved, but I can't blame those people because in a game like COD with super thick skill-based matchmaking, at least at the time, Modern Warfare 3 does not have that anymore, it was always so hard to believe that out of nowhere somebody in your lobby would be like an actual child or somebody who's never held a controller before. It didn't seem right when you see people like that in your lobbies given the nature of skill-based matchmaking. Well, ultimately that bot fiasco was kind of left up in the air. It was really hard to prove one way or the other if somebody was AI or if they were just bad or whatever, but yesterday Blame Truth made a video showing that somebody ended up getting into what they thought was a developer lobby for Warzone. They searched up Warzone solos and they ended up getting into this lobby where it's like virtually just full of AI bots everywhere, but they seem to be using real names. Apparently, there was a patent filed by Activision back in 2022 where they could use profiles as NPCs within their game, and some fans have reported that they've loaded into Warzone and immediately they found their character downed out in the water in the middle of nowhere, almost as if they loaded into the match and they took the place of their AI counterpart mid-game. Now, when it comes to this stuff, I definitely lean on the side of skeptical. I definitely want to see a lot more because we live in an age where literally anybody can record and post anything. You know, even if you don't have a recording software, your console can record and upload the footage for you. If there are so many bots out there, I definitely think we would see many more instances of that actually happening. But when it comes to Activision, literally anything is possible with how shady they are in every other aspect of COD. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that AI might have a place within the Call of Duty multiplayer. Well, do you guys remember? I did my XP testing last month and the results were wildly different each and every time. Exclusive Ace made his video where he did his testing and everything, and he told us that when playing Hardpoint on Nuketown, you only got 60 XP per elimination, but when I did my testing, I was getting way more than that sometimes, less than half of that sometimes. 3 of my 10 matches, I got no XP at all. Everything was just up in the air. It wasn't making any sense whatsoever. So Blame Truth was wondering in his video if the reason why I was not getting XP for some of my kills was because the people I killed were actually AI using other people's gamer tags, and AI players don't award XP, just like with what happened with that guy who supposedly got into a test server full of bots when loading into regular Warzone. Now again, definitely tinfoil hat territory here, and I don't want to get all wild with conspiracy theories and everything, but I do know that Activision is shady as shit, and what I want to do is give you guys the raw footage of my XP testing and see if any of you or some of the stats guys or whoever can figure out exactly what was going on within my matches. Again, it was very simple testing. You load into Nuketown Hardpoint, you get 1 kill, you back out, you track your XP, but I did that 10 times. 3 of my 10 matches, I got no XP at all. 4 of my 10 matches, I got the same amount of XP, and then my other 3 matches, the XP values were all over the place. One time it was like less than half the normal amount of XP, the other time was like 3 times the amount of XP, like nothing about it made any sense whatsoever. So what I've done is I've uploaded an unlisted video to my second channel. You guys can find a link to the video down there in the description, and it's all completely unedited. It's literally my live recording of the testing, which was never meant to have the audio shared, by the way. So I have a hot mic and I have jazz music playing in the background, which is copyrighted, by the way, so be warned. And the entire thing is timestamped as well. So there you guys have it. It's all there. You can dig through the footage. You can go do the math yourself. You can try to explain to me what was happening in my game, because I'm just so curious to see why my XP values were so wildly different each and every time. Because at the end of the day, Activision, as we know, is shady as shit. Nothing in their games seemed to work. So even if by some workaround miracle those XP values were somehow correct, it would once again prove that they are so bad at doing their jobs that it's impossible for any normal person to understand what is happening within their game. We cannot trust the game to actually run right. We cannot trust the anti-cheat to work. We cannot trust the XP values we're getting while playing the game. We can't trust the matchmaking or even the ping numbers within Black Ops 6. And now today we learn we can't even trust the patch notes that they give us. No wonder so many people keep moving on from Black Ops 6. The numbers keep getting worse and worse for that game, and numbers on older Call of Duty titles keep going up. Every day more and more people are leaving the game, and Activision is absolutely going to have to come up with some out-of-pocket shit to try to win those players back, and that is going to be the focus of my next video. There's still a ton to go over and cover, but I'm going to have to wrap things up here today because I am actually running out of time. I got a late start tonight, so if I want this video to be up before 2 a.m., I'm going to have to end it off here. So thank you all so much for listening to this video here today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback on all of this nonsense down there in the comment section below, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.